Hi, I'm Maddie Anthus. I'm the Associate Director in the Center for Student Success, and this video is part of the Virtual Advisor Training Series. This video will go over liberal learning requirements. Before we begin, I want to make sure we all are on the same page about who takes liberal learning courses. All TCNJ students take liberal learning courses, and they are met through a variety of ways. Students can do the menu option, which I'll discuss in a second, interdisciplinary concentrations, dual or double majors, or a self-designed major. Pause academic requirements page and what if reports allows students and advisors to see what requirements still need to be fulfilled and what courses will fit the students' interests and goals. Some liberal learning requirements are prescribed by a student's major, meaning that some major requirements fulfill the liberal learning requirements automatically. Just a quick note that transfer students who have obtained an associate's degree from a New Jersey community college do not have to take liberal learning requirements, including the FSP or civic responsibilities. They do take the IDS 102 information literacy course. Liberal learning courses can be seen as one piece of a three-piece academic puzzle that shapes students' curriculum. Those pieces are the major courses, liberal learning courses, and free electives. This makes it look like these are equal thirds, and that's of course not always the case. But you can think of them going hand in hand to help shape the student's curriculum overall. Liberal learning courses are not simply a box to check off towards completing graduation requirements. These are essential courses that help with skills for career, life, and engaged citizenry that sometimes are not provided by major courses. As an advisor, it's important to think about what you're communicating about liberal learning when you're having discussions with students. On the screen are some examples of phrases that can tell students that liberal learning courses are just things to get out of the way, but really liberal learning courses are opportunities for them. Think about how you're framing it and how you're setting students up to frame the liberal learning courses for themselves. If you show them as just boxes to check and things to squeeze in and get out of the way, that's how students are going to view them too. When helping them choose liberal learning classes, you also want to think about more than just what fits their schedule and what meets a liberal learning requirement. Think about the benefits that they can get. Some are listed on the screen. Think about some interests they have outside of the major, or some family history they might want to learn about, or a minor or a skill they want to learn. So think beyond just the major and requirements and schedule, and think about them as a holistic student. This is where developmental advising really comes into play. When we talk about liberal learning courses, there's actually three types of courses we're discussing. Often when students refer to liberal learning courses, they're actually talking about courses within the broad sectors of human inquiry, but there are three different spheres: the civic responsibilities, broad sectors of human inquiry, and intellectual and scholarly growth. I'm going to talk about the broad sectors of human inquiry on the next slide, but I want to make sure that we see that there are civic responsibilities and intellectual and scholarly growth as well. Students need to take a class that fulfills each of those civic responsibilities, and then IDS 102 will fulfill their intellectual and scholarly growth. When students talk about liberal learning courses, these are the courses they often mean. On the left-hand side, there are three broad sectors, and on the right-hand side, there are domains. Each broad sector has two domains. When I speak to students about liberal learning courses, I make sure I explain what I mean when I say domain. If I say you need to take a class in each domain within this broad sector and they've never learned this before, they have no idea what I'm talking about. So it's a good idea in your advising courses or when you meet with your students one-on-one to explain this. The menu option is a popular way for students to fulfill their liberal learning requirements. Here again are the broad sectors. There's three of them, and on the right are the domains. Students have to take a class in each domain and then one additional course in two of the three broad sectors. You can see why students might get confused if you say it just like that, so it's good to explain it a little further. If you look on the right, there are 6 bullet points. Students have to take one class in each of those 6 bullet points. Then they have to take 2 more classes, 8 total, but those 2 classes have to be in 2 separate broad sectors. For example, if their 7th class is a literary, visual, and performing arts class, then their 8th class has to be in either the social sciences and history broad sector or the natural science and quantitative reasoning broad sector. Some FSP courses also cover a civic responsibility, and that FSP course technically counts as the 9th liberal learning course. One course can count for only one domain, and remember, domains were those 6 bullet points on the right-hand side of my last slide. Each class automatically has a domain assigned to it, and you can see what domain that is in pause. A course can also have up to 2 civic responsibilities as well as that one domain. In a separate video, I show you how to use pause, and in that video, you can see how to find which domain your course will count as. IDS 102 is an information literacy course. Students can find this course on Canvas, and it runs from the end of August through mid-October. It is 0 credits, but it is a requirement in order to graduate. IDS 103 is community engaged learning. Students satisfy this requirement by participating over a 2-week period in 2 class periods that talk about community engagement, and then they do a half-day service project and then a follow-up period of reflection in an additional class. Writing 102 is academic writing. Each section is on a different topic based on the instructor's interests or expertise. Students can be exempt from Writing 102 if they are exempted through the TCNJ writing placement test that they take the summer before their first year, or if they score above a certain threshold on the SAT, ACT, or AP test. Currently, if a student is required to take Writing 102, they'll take it in the spring of their first year. Students earn 1 unit of elective credit for Writing 102, and some students also place into Writing 101, which is a writing studio. Beginning fall of 2021, there's a new structure for FSPs and Writing 102. Students who place into Writing 102 will take this in the fall and then their FSP in the spring. Students who place into 101 will take 101 and 102 in the fall and their FSP in the spring. Students who place out of Writing 102 take FSPs in the fall, and those who are exempt from 102 will take an elective course of their choosing. If you have any questions, your first stop should be the TCNJ Liberal Learning website. There's a lot of useful information there, but I'm also happy to answer any questions as well, and my email address is on the screen. I'm also happy to do a one-on-one advising chat with you, and you can make an appointment with me at my booking link at the bottom.